This is part 4 of ACOM's online marketing boot camp for VARs titled Website Lead Generation Conversion Optimization. All of the attendees are automatically muted by default, so if you have any questions, just use the questions tab on your screen. We'll be having a short Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. This will be a very fast and informative webinar, and since we're trying to keep it to 30 minutes, we may not have time to answer all your questions during the webinar, but if not, we'll be sure to get back with you after the webinar. Let me introduce our first speaker, Jim Scott. Jim is ACOM's Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Jim, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Valerie, and welcome everyone to what is our 4th in a series of 6 webinars covering the benefits of utilizing online marketing initiatives to drive cost-effective lead programs. I'll tell you, if there ever was a time to increase your lead generation results without increasing, and in some cases even lowering your marketing budget, now would be the time. Today, all of us are in the same boat. That is, how do you face the reality of limited marketing budgets while at the same time trying to increase your presence with customers and prospects? How do we drive more visitors to our website? How do we get those visitors to take action and submit forms or request more information? Or better still, how do we get our visitors to provide us with a little information about themselves and their needs so we can ascertain how to best help them? Well, the answer is by implementing very specific web conversion best practices that work and, equally important, are cheap. That's right, cheap, low cost, easy on the budget. In today's webinar, our speaker, Carl Kleinbach, will share how he does that for those of us within the ACOM community. First, let me just say a word about our company and our online marketing programs that we use ourselves. For those of you that don't know us, ACOM is a 26-year-old independent software company providing document management solutions to the mid-market space. We help organizations transition from paper documents and manual processes to electronic documents, including payments and automated workflows. Our specialty is automating the accounts payable process, including invoice processing and payments and disbursements automation. We do this for the mid-market by providing affordable software solutions that are easily implemented, easy to use, and that help extend the capabilities of your customers' financial and ERP systems. If you go to our website, which is www.acom.com, you'll find more information. Now let me say a word about the online marketing initiatives that we employ. Here's a snapshot of the impact online marketing has had on our business. 64%, almost 2/3 of all of our inquiries, come from our online initiatives. 46% of our sales funnel was derived from online initiatives, and 47% of our closed sales came from online marketing programs. So stated differently, almost half of our closed business, half of our active sales funnel, and more than half of our leads come from online marketing. The key point about this is that the cost of those programs are a fraction, and I mean a fraction, of what we pay for the other half. Okay, so how does this relate to you, our partners and potential partners? Well, the educational content that you will see today in Carl's webinar is an example of the kind of support you can expect to receive from ACOM as a member of our VAR Success Program. Okay. Our goal with our partners is to provide you with the tools and education that will allow you to successfully implement cost-effective online marketing initiatives to help grow your business. For our signed partners, we have developed pre-configured tools like pay-per-click in a box, which gives you everything you need to implement a pay-per-click program. If you would like more information on this or any of the online marketing programs that have been discussed in our webinar series, please feel free to contact us directly. Contact information is available at our website, acom.com, and will be posted at the end of today's webinar. Now let me say a word about our speaker, Carl Kleinbach. We're excited to have Carl lead this series because of Carl's experience. He is our Senior Online Marketing Manager at ACOM, and he's an active member and former marketing chairperson of the Web Analytics Association. He's also a featured contributor for OnlineMarketingConnect.com. He has multiple certifications in online marketing, including search engine optimization, paid search engine management, online testing, demand generation professional, and he is a certified pragmatic marketing graduate. Okay. At ACOM, his recent online Marketing successes include increasing our organic search traffic over 500%, increasing our site conversion rate over 350%, and increasing our total conversion up over 800%. This is one reason why ACOM has been able to dramatically shift our marketing initiatives to cost-effective online programs versus some of the more traditional venues like print advertising, trade shows, email blast, direct mail, etc. At this point, let's get started, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to Carl Kleinbeck. Carl?
Thanks, Jim. I'm really excited about today's topic. Really, in terms of online marketing, bang for the buck, optimizing websites, you're not going to see anything with greater leverage, more immediate returns, and it's a very exciting place to start your marketing initiatives. Let's really begin this by kind of laying the groundwork and defining what is conversion optimization. One of my trusty resources here, Wikipedia, they define it as the science and art of creating an experience for a website visitor with the goal of converting the visitor into a customer. There's a lot packed into that phrase. It's science, and there's a lot of measurement, analytics, and it's also art. It's about being able to write good copy. It's about being able to make things visually appealing. So it's a multifaceted engagement, and it's a challenge, and it's exciting. But why is it important? Why is it important now, today, not next week? Your website is critical. It's really the hub of IT marketing as we go forward. Everything really seems to drive people to the website at one point or another. Here's one research study that shows 76% of tech buyers will visit a vendor's website as a part of their purchase process. This was a Marketing Sherpa study. It's fairly profound. I mean, they're going to check out your website, and oftentimes they're going to do it before they talk to you. Based on what they see on that website, they will evaluate your organization. This is a study from Inquiro. And this was a study of B2B purchasers. And what they found was vendor websites were the most influential source of information in their purchasing decision. And it's not just as a source of information, it's also your appearance. Here's a study from Stanford University, and they ranked the appearance of the website as the #1 credibility indicator. Name recognition and brand and that sort of thing came in 7th, a fraction of the impact of the visual. Here's more research from Nielsen Net Ratings, and this indicated that 77% of people would rather buy from somebody that they don't know that's got a nice website than from somebody they know who's got a website that really isn't up to professional standards. So we established that your website and on-site conversion is important. How do you want to get started? Well, I don't want to just kind of throw this as a bunch of tips and tricks. There's really an order in which you're going to want to attack this. The first step here is to implement some measurement. Once you've got that in place, you need to understand best practices. Those best practices are going to then enable you to make modifications to really highly leverage parts of your pages, and the measurement's going to enable you to know which pages really are the ones going to yield you the best return when you change them. After you make this big first round of changes, you're going to want to analyze your results, apply what you've learned from those results in more focused tests, and then it's just a process of continuous improvement. You really never stop. You test, analyze, improve, theorize, test. It just goes on and on. So measurement. Why are we going to start with getting measurement in place? This is going to reveal where you're going to have the biggest impact. I'd like to apply Pareto's rule. Pareto's rule. The 80-20 rule. 20% is going to have 80% of the impact. The reality is we're all very, very busy. You're not going to be able to do everything, so let's just focus on where we can really have the highest impact. And then the second reason you're going to want to put measurement in place first, and this is a classic statement, you can't improve what you can't measure. If you're running around making a bunch of changes and you've got no idea what the impact is of those changes, then it's all guesswork and conjecture. There's two types of measurement that you're going to want. One is qualitative, or voice of customer. The other is quantitative, and that's your traditional web analytics. Qualitative measurement we can think of as really, it's a one-to-one conversation. And what you're going to want to find out is, why did the visitor come and did they succeed? Now, how are you going to find that qualitative information? How do you learn, as they say, the why? Well, there's a great free tool here. It's called 4Q. There's the URL down there at the bottom of the page. 4Q, you search, do a Google search for it, you'll be able to find it. This tool is a simple website survey. It's based on 4 questions. It's very discreet, and it's free. And what you're going to learn is really going to positively enable you to make very big, very important changes to your website. Quantitative measurement. Now you're going to talk about, what did they do? This is more of a macro analysis. You're going to see the big changes, where are people moving, what are the patterns, and that sort of thing. To start with, the way we're going to use this is actually to identify your best opportunities to improve. Now, there's 3 reports we really want to focus on. And again, applying Pareto's rule, let's just really focus on a few. Let's take a look and identify the top 5 most viewed pages, the top 5 bounce pages. Bounce pages are pages that people enter your site and then they leave your site without progressing any further into your site. And then another report we're going to look at is top 5 exit pages. Now, exit pages may or may not be a bad thing. If it's a normal exit page, say thank you or a goal page after somebody submitted a request form, that's perfectly fine. But if it's your home page or some other pages that are key and they're exiting before they actually finish going through the funnel and ending up on a conversion page, then we need to identify those pages and make sure we've done everything we can to improve conversion there. There's 2 great tools out there now for web measurement. I talked about this before in the previous sessions. Google Analytics, it's an excellent tool, and I've been looking into this more and more, and Yahoo's got a tool they've released this year. Actually, in my honest opinion, it surpasses Google in terms of its enterprise functionality, number of goals that you can track and so forth. A very powerful tool, and again, it's free. Another shortcut here, you can use the analytics, you can use the quantitative analysis. It's going to take a little bit of time to identify some of the things you need to change. I just came across this site actually last week, and used it and got some test response back. It's fantastic for the price. The domain is usertesting.com. For $29, you can have somebody of the demographic profile you specify visit your website, and what you'll get is a recording of that visit and also a written transcript of the experience of that visitor during the course of that visit. You specify the goals as far as what you want them to do, so you identify what you consider to be the critical paths or critical conversion goals on that visit, and as a part of this service, they'll go through and try and fulfill those conversion goals. Again, I'm really pleased with this and recommend it highly. Step 2, learn best practices. Knowing what to change is definitely worth the time it takes to learn it. You can try the old throw it at the wall approach and see what sticks, but quite frankly, you're going to waste a lot of time and oftentimes do more harm than good. A general best practice, simple phrase, don't make me think. Let's not get too clever or original, wild new web designs with strange navigation that people have to figure out. We've all been to these websites where you sit there and go, I just don't know what to do. There's a book out there by Steve Krug. It's called Don't Make Me Think. This book is one of the seminal works in online marketing. It's 26 bucks, worth every penny. Go to Amazon. Best practices on every page. Let's really make it easy for those people who want to engage with us to do so. It's amazing how much we hide the way people are going to engage with us. We don't put the phone numbers up and so forth. So make sure your phone number is on every page, and put a contact us call to action on every page, and let's feature them prominently. Next big thing, headlines. Changing your headlines will have the biggest impact. There's a caveat to this, and we'll get to that, and that's really if your site doesn't suck. If you've got an atrocious website, your headline just is not going to matter. But getting back to headlines, you've got about 2 seconds to get folks' attention. And the headline is really what's been proven as the item that they're going to look at first. If it's a compelling headline, you've got them, and you can then progress from there. Let's give you some tips for some headlines. Make them customer focused. Words like you, and really relate it to what the customer needs. You can try asking them some questions. Use numbers to demonstrate results of a product or solution, and communicate benefits in the headline. Here we've just got kind of what would be a standard headline, accounts payable automation solutions. Again, you've got 2 seconds to get their attention. They're going to be gone. Grab their attention. Some of the leading people in this space, they call headlines not headlines, they call them grabbers. Here's some examples of some grabbers that might be used to replace the headline up above. See how easily you can improve your invoice processing. You don't have to be in the Fortune 500 to have the benefits of AP automation. Give us 30 days and we'll give you fully automated invoice processing. These are dynamic, customer-focused, very benefits-oriented headlines. They're exciting, and they're going to tend to get people to continue on and read the rest of your content. Now, using the real estate reference here, curb appeal. How does your site look? Your first impressions. Here's an example of a website. This is no joke. This is somebody's home page, and it's literally got hundreds of links. Do you think people hung out and tried to figure out really what was going on here? It would be a very small percentage of those that did. Now, there's a simple fix. If you feel like you're overmatched, you don't have the time, resources to go ahead and make your own website design, that's perfectly fine. With all respect to the designers in the audience, just buy a template. You're going to be able to pick these things up for under $100. Here's one site that you can get literally hundreds of them from. You're going to get a professional site template that you can then move your content into and deploy very, very quickly and have a positive impact on the professionalism of your website. Moving to web copy. Just like the headlines, you want to make an impact and you want to get people's attention. So let's move your most important attention-getting copy up to the top. This is called an inverted pyramid style of copywriting. Let's get right to the point. People are in a hurry, and if you're not getting their attention, they're gone. Make your copy scannable. People read a little bit differently online. It's a little bit more difficult, so if you can make it easy to read, make fonts big, especially with our target demographics. Really, we're looking at people over 40. We're starting to see it's a little bit more difficult to read that smaller font. So let's increase that font size. Line length. This is a general rule. I've seen things all the way down to 65 characters up to 105. Just shoot for about 90 characters on the length of the line. You'll be in good shape. Your paragraphs, limit them to 4.5 lines. A bigger block of text than that, it really starts to get difficult for people to read, and they'll leave rather than read it. Where you can use bullets instead of paragraphs, go ahead and do that. It helps make that copy a lot more scannable. And when you look at heat maps, which is kind of a visual representation of where people are looking on a page, you can see that really their eyes will track really quickly to bullet points. And then use lots of subheads. This goes to making the copy very scannable. They can really quickly glance down a page and look for things that interest them. There's a side benefit here. Those subheads are typically going to be in HTML tags that improve your search engine rankings as well. Best practices, testimonials. If you guys have some testimonials, let's get them up on the website and try and get them on a lot of your pages. If you don't have testimonials, really make an effort to get some. It's very, very powerful. It's considered what's called word-of-mouth marketing. The credibility is very, very high. People are looking for it, and they will respond well to it. You want these testimonials to be really relevant and demonstrate some tangible results. ROI numbers, timelines, that sort of thing really will help with the credibility and bring it home as to the value that was delivered. With page layout, try and put your important items above the fold. That's a newspaper term, and online what it means is really it's above the scroll point. You can see in the image here we've got a highlight really where the scroll point was, and we tried to keep the phone number and our call to action buttons, headlines and things like that really up in that top group. You also want to repeat your key call to actions below the fold as well. With respect to call to actions, we'll repeat here above and below the fold, make them highly visible, colored buttons, big fonts. Two things you want to do. One, you want to have them on the same location on every page, but also try and work them into the body of the page in the text using text links. Use a blend of text links and graphics. Another thing you can do is place call to actions under images if you're using hero shots, really interesting images. People will look under images pretty much automatically, so it's a great place to put a call to action. With respect to the text in your call to action, let's make it engaging. Get right to what are they going to get and why they want it. Here's an example of the classic. Click here for information. A little bit better approach would be get expert Sage implementation advice now. You can see where that's going to capture somebody's interest a lot better and lets them know what am I going to get as a result of clicking this link. Another classic, read case study. A better approach, see how Acme Company automated AP processing and slashed costs 32% in just 30 days. Really, there's a lot more tangible benefit there, much more exciting. Your click-through rate's going to be much higher. You get them to click through. Now they're on a conversion form, a contact you form. Let them know what they're going to get. Sell the offer again. Include just the essential fields that you have. Nice to have information, really, that can wait. When I say that can wait, you continue your communication, try and build out that information in subsequent emails, ask them for those other data points. Your submission buttons, dress them up, use colors, make them big. Put some text on that button. It shouldn't just be submit. It should really be action-oriented. Here you can see send download now. It's really the same sort of an approach you're using with your call to action links. Build trust, add a privacy policy right around where the submission point is, the submission button. Other things you can do, how long you've been in business, Better Business Bureau certifications, awards you've won, it all helps, and it all will help you increment up your conversion rate. And then just a real quick statement here, if you've got the reset form button anywhere, get rid of it. It's an amazing artifact. It has no business on a submission form. Here's a little research from Google and TechTarget, very recent, just performed last year. And this shows, with respect to the accuracy of the information you're getting, how that accuracy drops down as you ask for more and more data points in your form and ask for more and more personal or private information. You can get general information very easily. Then you drop down to things like phone number and time to purchase, and really you're better off not asking because if they do tell you, it's not going to be valid most times. Other things you can do to improve conversion, and this is really significant, is have some offers on your website. You've got to be able to give them something in order to get that information from them. We took our pay-per-click campaign, which was kind of a generic approach, and it was going to various pages on our site, and we dropped them on the landing pages where we were having an offer of a white paper, and we saw our conversion rate jump 3,000%. Not 300, 3,000. Having a good offer and doing some of these other best practices can really have a big impact. Number one conversion offer or offer to have on your website, this is good throughout the purchase cycle, case studies. From initial awareness and interest all the way down to evaluation and pre-purchase, they're going to use them. Other things that are of very high interest are white papers and webinars that are educational in nature and informative articles. Technical briefs are going to be key for this particular audience. And as people move through the purchase funnel, product-specific white papers and webinars then become more relevant and more desirable. So you've got a bunch of best practices, things you can change. You've identified the pages that you want to change. Go ahead, go out there and do it. Let's make the sweeping change and apply all these best practices to those top 5 pages. After you've done that and you have your analytics in place, so now you've got measurable results, let's take a look and analyze those results. But what is a success? Oftentimes, and the king of successes is typically conversion, but it really depends on the page you're talking about and the goal of that page. If we're talking about your home page, a success is not a conversion. A success is greater click-through traffic to your subpages of your website. So you're going to want to take a look at that. You're going to vary your success criteria depending on which page you're talking about. And it's common sense, but sometimes people overlook this. Now, with respect to analyzing results, we talk about statistically valid and that sort of thing, and a lot of people get really hung up on this. I don't want you to get hung up on the number it takes to be valid with, an error measure of plus or minus 5%. There's calculators out there that you can find quite easily. Just do some Google searches on statistical validity and conversion rate and that sort of thing, and you'll be able to find them. If not, email me and I'll be able to point you in the direction. But there's also an element of common sense here. If you've done a test and you see big differences between your A version and your B version, you're not going to need to see as many visitors go through that process to be able to determine, hey, this is a positive change, let's go ahead and run with it. If you got just a subtle difference, it can be quite a bit of a difference in terms of the traffic volume, thousands. So, but again, this kind of goes to the Pareto rule. Let's go for big changes that have a big impact first. There's a great tool out there in terms of improving conversion and testing. And when we talk about improving conversion, at the end of the day, it comes down to testing ideas and validating the results of those tests. Based on the results of that, making theories about why it worked, why it didn't work, and going out and making changes again and testing again and again and again. It's that Toyota continuous improvement. The tool that I would recommend, it's free. It's Google Website Optimizer. Do a Google search on that. You're going to be able to find it really easily. This is going to be able to enable you to do A/B tests, multivariate tests. It's going to tell you what worked, what didn't, what elements had the greatest impact, and what elements had no impact or negative impact. This sounds like a lot of other aspects of online marketing, but we can help you and make it a lot easier. For signed VARs, one of the things that we offer is a free website review, and we'll give you a recommended changes report for your website. This report's going to go through a number of things we just discussed, and we'll also at a high level take a quick look at things like SEO and some other relevant things. It's a great value, and implementing this could really have a huge impact, implementing the recommendations on just the success with your website.
Thanks, Carl. This is a great webinar. Hopefully everyone picked up a few important tips they can start working on right away. For more information about ACOM's VAR Success Program, please visit www.acom.com/channels or contact Catherine Bedrosian. And remember to sign up for the next Marketing University webinar for VARs titled boosting your website leads with search engine optimization. Again, as an added bonus for our assigned VARs who attended today's webinar, or for those of you who join ACOM's VAR Success Program, we're offering a free website review. You can simply send your email to csm@acom.com with the subject line free website review and your contact information. If you have any questions you want to ask, we're going to stay on for a couple extra minutes to answer those. Otherwise, please be sure to fill out the exit survey, as this will help us improve on the next webinar for you. And thanks for attending.